Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today it's going to be a little short one, I hope. A job just came up, and what I needed for the job is a way to turn between centers. I'm going to try my hand at some pulleys, V-belt pulleys. And there was several things that I needed. Number one, I need a dog, a drive dog, or lathe dog, or however you want to put it. And I also needed a mandrel, and I'm going to need a reamer. So we're working on getting the parts for that so that I can make some pulleys. And we're going to make a bunch of them, but to start off with, we're just going to make one and see if I can do it. We don't know until I do it. But anyway, I had looked at several different ideas of how to do this lathe dog. And these are just some of the ideas that I had come across. And this one here is basically just a simple clamp on the side, and I don't like that idea. It just doesn't seem like it would be strong enough to do anything. So I put that on the side burner. Then I thought, well, I've already got a piece that's round. It's going to be balanced, but I've already cut the hole too damn big. So this is an idea for a leg dog or lathe dog if I wouldn't have. Now this could be one for a bigger shaft, yes. And I had thought about cutting a slit in there with the milling machine and putting this in here and then welding it. And that's just a piece of scrap I took off of something else. And go about halfway, put me a slit through there that this would slide into, and then weld it. Now that would make a leg dog or lathe dog, and then I could just put a set screw in the bottom here. And but that's for later on. Alright, then, and I wish this would have been longer. I had cut this to make a piece, or to work on the box on my lathe, my old Atlas lathe, to make the forward reverse box. And what this is a piece that came off of a chain that hooked to the front of your RV as your for your weight distribution bar. And basically it just came on out and had two holes here to hold the chain with a C-clamp or a U-bolt. So I thought about just drilling a hole, which I've already done, and I can see I didn't get it centered, but I don't think it's going to matter. And I'm going to put a set screw in here. I'm hoping this is going to be wide enough. If not, this will give me an idea of how to do my next one. I'll just go with a thicker piece of metal and make a smaller hole. I only need two holes. And I'll show you what I've got happening over here. Alright, we've set up with the backing plate, and here's my thoughts on this. Alright, the mandrel that I'm going to be getting has what looks to be a 1/2 inch shank on it with a flat spot. And if I take this and slide it up on there, put my set screw on it, I don't really need an arm to go over into this. So we're going to try this out and see how it works. Well, need to adjust my tailstock back a little bit. didn't need it that close to begin with. And for some reason that thing keeps sticking on me. Alright, we're going to tighten that down right there. Alright, and this is just a mock-up right now. Alright, now this hole right here lines up with this. So what I'm thinking about doing is grabbing, of course we're going to use a hardened bolt to do this with. That's a 1/2 inch. And I don't see any reason why this won't work. Well, it'd be nice if I could get my nut off of it. Oh, daggone it. I'm going to have to take the nut off of it. There it is. There it goes. Must have a bad spot in that thread. Yep. Alright, well, we'll turn it around here and do the other side. Hopefully there's no bad spot on it. Now this is just temporary pieces. This is not the finished product. So if I take that bolt and put some washers on it, of course, and put that in there just like that, with our set screw in it, which would have to be a small set screw, so that's why I'm thinking that maybe I need to make this a little thicker. But I think that would make a pretty decent lathe dog. So this is pretty close. I mean, you only got like about 1.5 inches from, yeah, it's less than 1.5 inches. It's 1 3/8. So the stress on this would not be very much. Now I've got other stuff here that I can use, solid steel. Like for instance this piece right here, you know, I can take and turn that down and thread it to 1/2 inch and put that in there and then cut it off on the ends here, and damn, that thing's bent. Well, this one won't be the one. I've also got this piece, but daggone, that thing is hard. Actually, that might do the trick right there. If I can get this, if I can work with this, I might have to heat it up and get it, well, I can't use that, that's a tool. Anyway, you got the idea. And so if I can make this work, I'm gonna have to go get some steel that's a little thicker. This is just basically a pattern, I guess. But I just don't see me being able to put a sufficient set screw in there. I'd like to use a 3/8, at least a 5/16 set screw. And this is only, better push the button there so I don't accidentally turn it on. That would be a mess. Alright, right now, yeah, that's 3/8, so I would have to use 1/4x20. Yeah, I'd have to use a 1/4x20, and I don't think that would be large enough. And basically this video is just to put up so that Crafted can see what my line of thinking is. And I like this idea of using this, and this is the design I'm going to go with because I like this design. basically the main thing I need to concentrate on is a thicker one of these, and I would like to have just a little bit more steel on this side so that it will counterbalance it, so that the lathe ain't sitting there vibrating. Uh, so a thicker piece of metal here, a longer piece of metal so that it balances itself, and a harder piece of steel to bolt into this. And I think that will make a good dog. So we're going to try this with this, and we're going to try it with a 1/4 bolt and see how it works with just this shaft, because this is a 1/2 inch shaft that I took out of a motor. This is the center part that came out of the armature, so that's a pretty hard piece of metal there. Who knows, I might be able to make the pin out of that. So there's another idea I just came up with, so we'll see how this works.